see that light mist falling here at Acrisure Stadium. Cardinals and the Panthers on the CW in the ACC. Fair catch from Johnson. So Louisville, which won the toss, elected to defer. Let's take a look at today's Impact Players, brought to you by Walmart Plus. Walmart Plus members save on free delivery plus gas and so much more. Join today.
So many shakeups along that offensive front. Here's another one. Terrence Moore will start at center. He's a great communicator, and they're going to need that because so many looks they'll see from this defensive front of Louisville. Rodney Hammond, whether it's him or Sebo Flemister, they have got to get the ground game going to help the new guy, the Canadian, Veilleux.
The cool breeze from the Great White North hands it off on first down and through the line for Flemister. Check on tonight's Impact Players, brought to you by Walmart Plus on defense for the Cardinals.
Well, Devin Neal, ACC Defensive Back of the Week, 2 interceptions last week against Notre Dame.
Veilleux can only fall on it back near the 13.
Here's Terrence Moore, the new center in there with this wet ball, and that one just too low for 11 to go down and get it in a smart play just to save it and live to play another down here on third down. This is a Louisville defense. Obviously, you can't give a lot of help to, and going back the wrong way here on the opening drive isn't how Coach Narduzzi and this offensive staff wanted to get things started.
James, that was a 15-yard loss on the poor snap. 12th in the conference on third down for the Panthers, and that ball bouncing on the turf and incomplete. Looking for Flemister. So Veilleux has to trot to the sidelines. 3 and out for the Panthers on the first possession of the evening. Panthers haven't played in a couple of weeks. They lost at Virginia Tech on September 30th, 38-21. Caleb Junko will punt from his goal line. It's going to bounce and go sideways out of bounds near that 40-yard line of the Panthers.
Cardinals brought the heat and almost got there, and well, heating up as of late. Jack Plummer, who's bounced around a little bit, spent some time with Coach Brom and his staff back at Purdue. 3 years there with Brom before going to Cal, and now reunited. And look at that, 25 is in. So Jeff Brom telling Trevor Scales just a few moments ago, it didn't look pretty, but Jawhar Jordan will start here tonight.
Just a 27-yard punt from Junko. First down, Plummer out on the edge. That's Coleman down near the 33-yard line. Take a look at tonight's Impact Players, brought to you by Walmart Plus. We'll get to that in just a moment as the Cardinals go with some tempo. 2nd and 3. Jack Plummer tries the other side. Equal amount of success to Thrash, and that's first down yardage close to the 26-yard line. Again, we take a look at tonight's Impact Players, brought to you by Walmart Plus. Walmart Plus members save on free delivery plus gas plus so much more. Join today.
Yeah, tight end Kuriski lifts in. They're going to have to get involved, and Brian Hudson, just a special leader in that locker room, the center. Hardly practicing at all the last few weeks, just out there playing. It's been banged up.
Plummer has an open man at the 20 as Thrash adjusted to the pass. And it's another first down. Down close to the 12-yard line of Pitt on the throw by Plummer.
You know, and we were told in pre-game to not only be on the lookout for Jawhar Jordan, banged up a little bit coming off last week's win, but Jamari Thrash, a big-time playmaker as well. So it's good to see both of them out there right now. And Jordan is up top, spread wide. Now he'll come back and join Plummer in the backfield.
14 yards on the previous play and a first down for Louisville. 6-0 in the season, 3-0 in conference play. Inside the 10, that is Jordan. James, you mentioned his effort against Notre Dame. 21 carries, a career high, 143 yards. And he also ran for 2 scores, 45 and 21 yards on the touchdowns. Tonight's Impact Players brought to you by Walmart Plus for Pitt on D.
Well, Donovan McMillan, leading tackler with 44. The safety earned that starting spot right off the bat there when he came in, transferred from Florida. And watch out for Jules up front. DeAndre Jules, the senior, has been great.
Into the end zone. Caught for a touchdown. Plummer hits Chris Bell in the end zone. And Louisville scores first. James, that's a 7-yard TD toss by Plummer.
Yeah, complimentary football here to start for the Cards. A 3-and-out for the defense. Offense with outstanding field position to start. And they just march it right down the field on the opening drive.
Brock Travelstead for the extra point.
Tom, the first quarter this season has belonged to this Louisville Cardinal football team. 48-0, the points scored in the first quarter coming in. They're at
season. Chris Bell caught it in the end zone, his second receiving TD. It's a fair catch from Johnson. Coach Brom has had some marquee wins in his Notre Dame. Can they follow it up tonight against the Panthers? Well, the start has been solid, James, on both sides of the football for Louisville.
Yeah, and it was interesting. He came out, Tom, in his press conference on Tuesday, and he basically started the press conference with that. He wanted everybody. He wanted everybody to know, and you can tell by the way his football team has started this game that he wanted them to know too. That's not the way they were approaching this game. It's very cliche with these coaches. It's a one-game season each week, but they certainly aren't playing like a football team that got off the bus thinking they just walk in here and win because of the big one last week.
Veilleux wants to throw, and it's too high for the receiver. Looking for Flemister. And just like that, Bates, it's 3rd and 11 for the Panthers. Now, Coach Brom said we could easily be 3-3 at this juncture in the season. But he does recognize, James, they have accomplished something very special so far in trying to follow through in Pittsburgh. Veilleux's pass, too far for everyone, and it's 4th down. Bub Means was the closest Panther receiver. Penalty marker on the field.
Defense, number 14. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Jeff Heiser is our referee. So that'll create 3rd and 6.
Can't help him out. You've got an offense that's really struggling. The new guy in there, helping him out, giving him one more shot, moving it up to a 3rd and medium.
This is the 3rd game this season that Veilleux has seen action. Did throw a TD pass in the opening home win against Wofford to start the schedule. Quick look, it is deflected and incomplete. Alderman deflected it. Mumpfield was the intended receiver, and now it's 4th down.
Here's Alderman showing blitz, walked up, and he's going to back right out of it. And Veilleux wasn't expecting him to back out, and lucky that he gets that one back. Almost interception number 9 for the leaders in interceptions in the ACC. And what did Ron English, the defensive coordinator, tell us? He preaches day after day after day, catch the ball. That one would have been tough, but it was in his hands.
Coleman backtracking. Eludes the 1st and 2nd man down the sideline. Kevin Coleman. There is a penalty marker out on the field. Coleman took it back past the 40.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 0. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. 1st down, Pittsburgh. Timeout.
So when we come back, the Cards have for the Cards, and she had them in the NCAA championship match a season ago before falling to Texas. The rivalry continues on the field with the Cards up 7-0.
Well, Trevor, this is good news for Louisville fans. You talked to Coach Braum, and it certainly didn't sound like we would see number 25, but he's running strong here early.
Absolutely. And you saw earlier in pregame him going through all of the individual drills and periods like that. He didn't seem to hold up anything, but certainly you're going to want to keep an eye on him in each of these run schemes that they try to do.
Plummer on the scramble, up past the 15. Took a hit from David Green, number 2.
Big captain bringing a load. Big 290-pounder turning and burning and running down the quarterback. So here's a chance. After that penalty, the holding on the punt return, it's a 3rd down and medium. And defensively, let's see if Coach Bates' defense can get off the field.
No relation to James Bates. Randy Bates, the defensive coordinator. 10th in the conference on 3rd down. They'll swing it left. That's first down yardage. Beyond the sticks to Jordan, who made the catch.
Jordan has great hands, even in this wet weather. And look at Plummer lead him, where he can use that speed. He's already outside. He's got the edge. But a lot of times you'll see that quarterback put it on him where the running back, the receiver, has to pause. That wasn't the case right there. And Brian Braum told us in this wet weather he was going to throw a lot of those out balls because coming back at the ball in the wet weather, it's a lot more difficult to catch.
Plummer unloads it. I don't know what to make of the mechanics of that one, James. It looks like he kind of leaped in the air a little bit and then unloaded the pass.
Well, it was good coverage. And like we were getting into earlier, here's another look at Plummer, kind of the hop in the throw. And see what you're talking about.
He's like a shortstop taking a crow hop and throwing it over to first.
Oh, look at that rain coming down. That's a good shot of it right there. 2nd down and 10 now.
Hoping that rain starts to taper off as we play here in this first quarter. There's a hole on the right side. Up past the 25-yard line. Brendo, senior on the carry. Transfer from Wisconsin. O'Brien Jr. had the tackle, and it's 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and Garendo a little bit more of a power back, where Jordan has that speed, and he's so quick, a little bit smaller. The big banger from Wisconsin. He also can catch it out of the backfield. He's got 9 catches, over 100 yards receiving on the season.
Plummer directs a little bit of traffic. Here comes the pressure, and down goes Plummer. Shane Simon knifing through and taking down the quarterback.
Maybe a little payback for his old team. The captain there in the middle. Here's Simon coming right up the middle and untouched. Nobody there for him. That's a bust in the offensive line, obviously. The transfer from Notre Dame. And Randy Bates telling him early in the season, hey, man, go make plays. Just go make plays. He's in position, but go take that extra step and make those big plays. A lot like Sebastian Dennis in years past.
That was a loss of 9 on the Simon sack. And now Devonshire slams on the brakes and dives down at the 45-yard line. So the Pitt defense comes up big on 3rd down. They've got the ball back. Trailing attack, and the defense has shown up as well. We'll have it for you next week. Virginia and North Carolina. James Bates, the South's oldest rivalry.
Yeah, well, back in '97, that UNC crew, they ran into a buzzsaw on the Florida State Seminoles and lost that next week. They've got a big one against another team from the Sunshine State later tonight. Miami Hurricanes looking to get back on track. This is a big series right here for this offense. They need to have some success.
The swing pass is off the mark. That was Rodney Hammond Jr. coming out of the backfield.
Trevor, do you get the sense down there? I mean, here's a situation. You finally got good field position after you've started a couple times. You're back near the goal line. They need to have a little bit of success after the defense helped them out.
100%. Like, understanding that you have a new guy in there under center that needs to just find some sort of rhythm. So long as they can keep the pressure off of him, that's going to be the biggest key to success in order for them to get something going in this drive.
3rd and 8, Trevor, for Veilleux and the Panthers. Avoids the first wave of pressure, gonna run with it. Veilleux near the 45, flag comes out. He needed to get to the 45 for the first down. Quincy Riley came up to meet him.
And the Canadian checks him into the boards. He wasn't a hockey guy growing up.
Holding. Offense, number 3. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It's Dejon Reynolds. It appeared on the scramble that Veilleux had enough, but the penalty negates it.
Well, it was going to be close, but I think what that sideline, what Coach Narduzzi and company would have liked to have seen it is, hey, for that penalty not to come around and nix it, because you've got a quarterback that's there fighting for you. He's trying to stand it up. He's not sliding right there because he knows where he needs to get. So now it's a 3rd down and forever, and they're walked up again. They'll bring 4.
Looking for his first completion of the game. Felt pressure, got it away. This is up for grabs and well out of bounds. Veilleux was 12 for 27 with a couple of interceptions coming into the game. And now he's 0 for 5 through the air and trots to the sidelines once again. Honestly, James, it's a tough spot for the young man. You've got the weather conditions, the expectations of what Pitt thought it had with the synergy between Cignetti and Jurkovec, and now here comes Veilleux.
And he's also staring down the barrel of a Ron English defense that made Sam Hartman feel uncomfortable all night last weekend. Sam Hartman's an experienced, great quarterback. And if that's the case with him, what do you think it's going to be for the new guy?
Now, Hartman had 3 interceptions and a couple of fumbles in that game in the loss to Louisville. Let's check in with Trevor.
And Louisville does such a great job, Tom and Batesy, of mixing up their front. So many different looks to make quarterbacks have to adjust on the fly almost. And that's what makes it even tougher for a new guy like Christian stepping in there, trying to just get a command on the offense. And then he's getting a million different looks on the other side of the ball.
Right, with a new center who's making all the calls for that new offensive line. It's 5 different offensive line combos with all the injuries already this season. That doesn't help you out at all.
Plummer is 5 of 6 throwing the ball so far. Make it 5 of 7 off the fingertips of Kevin Coleman, the sophomore, and a transfer from Jackson State. Philip O'Brien in coverage.
It's almost a given, isn't it, Tom? That it transfer, like so. It's like, how about from now on, we'll just let you know if he's not a transfer, because it's a whole new look, not just on the sidelines, but on the field as well, especially offensively.
Well, as you look at the numbers for Jack Plummer, played last year at Cal and was with Jeff Brom at Purdue. 2nd and 10 from their own 20 from Louisville. Delay, stumbling up past the 30, Maurice Turner. Based on the reaction after the whistle, he thought he might be able to bust that one on the natural grass surface.
He was a shoestring tackle away from breaking it. He does a great job. And just like Jawhar Jordan in front of him, great vision right there to cut it back behind his block, and felt like maybe he could have kept his legs and run through it, but still a nice pickup and a fresh set of downs for the Cards.
Turner got 12 yards on the rush. 1st down. Plummer trying to put some touch on this one. Into the waiting arms of Kevin Coleman. Official right on top of it. Marquez Williams was defending.
Yeah, and Marquez wants him to take a look at it, because I don't think he or anybody in this Pitt fan base thought that it was a catch. They're still yelling, but they'll get the snap. Oh, they won't get the snap up.
If it stands, James, it's 15 yards.
Ruling on the field was a completed catch. That play is under further review.
It was a long ball all the way across the field that seemed to hang forever. Here we go. Get a look at it. I think that's a catch. He seemed to have control of it. Went down, and it wasn't until he was down and rolled over that the ball came spilling out.
I mean, the official is right there. And Bates, I'm only going to say this once.
That's a catch.
You need indisputable video evidence to overturn the call, which on the field was catch and a 15-yard gain for Louisville.
Should be
Current
pretty
play,
easy.
yeah, current play under review. Late in the first quarter. Cardinals scored on their first possession of the game. After they held Pitt 3 and out, and a short punt gave them great field position at the 40-yard line of Pitt.
I guess he's got to go check a new monitor. Maybe the rain getting to that one as he communicates.
The backup monitor is in play. Exactly what Heiser is seeing.
He had control. The sideline's not an issue.
That's Marquez Williams who comes up to make the hit.
Yeah, that's.
Receiver was Kevin Coleman. Moved to the backup monitor, malfunctioning primary monitor. No problem, we've got the backup. You can see that drizzle though. Still pretty steady, Bates.
You know, and Jeff Braun, look at the top box over there. He's upset. I think he's upset because, you know, he's standing right there. He saw that it was a catch, and he wants to keep the pedal to the metal.
After further review, the ruling on the field is an incomplete pass.
Wow.
2nd down and 10 at the 32-yard line. Position 1. The clock will be on the snap.
So the catch has to be completed all the way through, all the way to the ground, and evidently there was enough evidence to reverse that call. Incomplete pass, and it negates a 15-yard pickup for Louisville.
Wow. I mean, it certainly seemed like that ball was secure. Here we go. Just what Pitt needed, a little bit of help. And Jeff Braun arguing it, but it ends up being in favor of the Pitt Panthers. Let's see if they pin their ears back here.
Plummer in the play fake, down the sideline, reaching for it, Thrash, and it hit his fingertips and fell incomplete. That was just a sprint down the sideline with MJ Devonshire for Pitt.
Yeah, and it's good coverage. Devonshire right there in phase, right in the hip pocket, but a beautiful throw, and one that Thrash usually is able to haul in.
A spectacular look at that incomplete pass, forcing 3rd and 10 for Louisville. Score on their first drive of the game. They did that in the win against Notre Dame, 33-20. They had 330 yards of total offense against the Irish. Quick release. Coleman does not have nearly enough. Solomon DeShields on the stop for Pitt.
You know, Brian Brom and Jeff Brom have done such a fantastic job of calling these offensive plays throughout the season. A lot of times they'll slip in that 1st down screen as opposed to, hey, we need them now on a 2nd down and long, a 3rd down and long. Randy Bates' defense ready for it, and again, make a stand, and again, should give their offense decent field position to start.
Brock Travelstead, who kicks and punts for this Louisville team. Had the game winner, a 13-10 win against NC State earlier this season. Spun down to the turf, MJ Devonshire on the return for Pitt. 3:50 to go in our first quarter. Tuesday on Inside the NFL, the guys look back at the undefeated 49ers battle in Cleveland against the Browns. Plus, they discuss the Monday night tilt between the Cowboys and Chargers inside the NFL. Free for everyone. Tuesday, 8/7 Central. Only on the CW. Hosted by Ryan Clark. Check it out. Tuesdays on the CW. These guys do a fantastic job.
Well, they won't be looking back at a Steelers game. The hometown Pittsburgh Steelers have a bye week this week. So resting up a little bit and resting up the ground crew here. A lot of times we'll have a Pitt game and they'll have to spend all night getting ready for Sunday.
Coming around the edge. Up past the 35 is Kenny Johnson. So the Panthers trying to mix it up maybe a little bit, James, ease into it. They've struggled in total yards. Prior to that play, they had -4 yards for the game.
Yeah, still looking for their first down. And the first start of Christian Veilleux.
Drizzle continues with those temps hovering around 50 degrees. Panthers are running for a first down. Past the 40. Rodney Hammond Jr. and out of bounds on the Louisville side of the 50.
Still waving those terrible towels, and good cuts and good vision again. Look at him, even puts that ball in the outside arm. That's a nice little play for Rodney Hammond. First time we've seen him. And he pays off with the first down and on into Louisville territory.
18 yards on the run. Veilleux has the time. Delivers down near the goal line and caught for a touchdown. Bob Means hauls it in for the Panthers TD. Tosses it 46 yards on schedule and on target to Bob Means. Ben Sauls to tie us at 7. Ben Sauls drives that one right through the uprights.
Oh, this is so big for Narduzzi and these Pitt Panthers. Unable to do anything offensively. There's a big pop. Veilleux knew it was coming. After he lets go of that football, it's Heron who puts the pressure on him. Decent coverage there in the secondary, but a beautifully thrown football. There's the press by Jarvis Brownlee, and Bob Means looking it in. And a few balls to start, a little bit off the target, but not this one. Number 11 is stoked here in the rain in his first start, and it was perfect for the Panthers right there in front of the student section here on homecoming night. And they made some noise for the new quarterback as he tied it up.
It felt like, James, those chunk yardage plays that they were able to get leading up to that long TD pass provided just a little bit of a spark. They got a nice run there for Rodney Hammond Jr. and then threw it in the end zone.
Well, that was on the last series. Like I said to Trevor, something's got to go their way if they want to make this a football game, because they just right now they're getting a little bit of help from the defense. They've got to answer and help them out, and they certainly did it on that drop.
There will be no return. Rodney Hammond Jr. had the 18-yard run and then 13 at halftime against the Yellow Jackets.
It wasn't a great start for Jack Plummer. I remember watching that game, getting ready for the Georgia Tech Wake game.
That was the first game of the season and a win 39-34 at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Guerrendo on the carry. He's close to first down yardage. Give him 9 on that play.
This is Guerendo's kind of game. He's a little bit more of a mutter. You know, Jawhar Jordan, we've seen Maurice Turner in there as well.
Kid loves the slop.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
There's another run, first down, Guerendo, 40-yard line. And Trevor, you got an update on the footing down there in the natural grass.
Yeah, man, walking around, you can tell that this is built for a pro football team. The draining is proper. They left the grass a little bit longer, theoretically to get a little bit more traction on the play-to-play basis. And even when you see those big cuts being made, those big stop and goes by receivers and everything like that, the grass doesn't come up. It's made to be cut on. It's made to drain well. And guys are able to kind of find their footing, no issues, it seems, early on.
Plummer wants to throw this one, Trevor. This is a deep ball. Man-on-man fight, and a flag comes out. Thompson was the Louisville receiver. A.J. Woods the defender. I count 2 penalty markers.
Pass interference. Defense, number 9. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Yeah, I was waiting. When was it coming? Thompson, about every branch from A.J. Woods he was tangled up in. And finally the flags came a little bit late, but that one was an easy one. So a fresh set of downs, but sometimes if you feel like you're beat, Pat Narduzzi knows that so well. He's spent his whole career as a great defensive coordinator and coaching that secondary. Lived to play in, unfortunately for Louisville, but that seems to be the ongoing theme for this defense. The balls have been out. They've had opportunities to create turnovers, but they only have 4 on the season. They've had chances where they've dropped balls in their hands, but just 4 and only 1 interception. So dodging a little bit of a and it's 2nd and 13 now.
Loss of 3. Handoff. Initial contact. The ball pops out. That thing came flying out of there. And once again, it's Plummer falling on it. They'll lose 6 on the play. The rock went flying in the slippery conditions.
On back-to-back plays. That's the big pop. Got to be careful with this one.
Could be the last play of the quarter if the Cardinals elect to let it run out, and they will. So when we start the second, James, Louisville faces a 3rd and long. They're trying to get to Harrisburg to get that first down. What a first quarter
set. He's a Pitt great. Hall of Famer as well. Ty Law from my hometown, Aliquippa as well. Mike Ditka as well. So, for me, man, it's just great. It's humbling. I had to fill those guys' shoes, and man, just all the hard work. It all plays back, and this is a wonderful time. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy I also came to Pitt. They showed me, great accommodating to me as well. So this is awesome for me.
And then beyond that, the city of Pittsburgh at large, how does that play into your success throughout your entire career?
Well, we love football in this area. I won a state championship at Hershey. I came to Pitt. I wanted to stay home. I think this is a city where we love football, we love our sports, and it's very supportive here. So I'm just happy to be home. I'm excited right now.
Congratulations, and thanks for the time, man.
Thank you.
Trevor in the Hall of Famer on the sideline. That was cool, Bates. Come on.
Well, and in that state championship, guys, it was a come-from-behind win there for Aliquippa over Northern Lehigh, and he scored 5 touchdowns in that game. I mean, it goes way back. His great play means so much to the city of Pittsburgh. Spent most of his time, of course, in the NFL with the Jets. Wow, there's a nice run. And Guerrendo, nothing sloppy about that. And he taking care of that football, securing it as it goes down right here just moments ago to end the first quarter, put it on the ground. This is an offensive line for Coach Braum that's really done a great job. Mentioned Brian Hudson earlier, the center, is leading the way. He transferred from Virginia Tech. He's back home in the Bluegrass State, and we're glad he is, that's for sure.
6th in the conference in the red zone for Louisville this season. They have the 7-yard TD pass from Plummer to Bell. That was on their first possession. James, remember while Trevor was talking to Darrelle Revis, Louisville picked up a 3rd and 18 to continue this drive, and here they are just inside the 15 of Pitt.
Yeah, that's a tough one for a stomach. You've got them 3rd and forever, and they find a way to move those chains. Got to turn around and keep playing. They've got a long way to go here on 2nd down now, but they'll.
First charge timeout. Pittsburgh.
So they've got a long way to go, but plenty of time to get there?
Yeah,
Is that what you're telling me? Well, we just saw the Hall of Famer down on the sidelines with Trevor, Darrelle Revis. And when you talk about Some of those marquee programs in the nation. 10 Pro Football Hall of Famers from Pitt. We also have 24 College Football Hall of Famers. Rivas playing here from 04 to 06. How about those names?
Wow. You mentioned Tony Dorsett. You imagine coming up, you know, just to think about when he's up the road in Aliquippa, just being up there with the greats like Marino and Tony Dorsett.
Heisman Trophy winner with Johnny Majors in the '76 National Championship for these Pitt Panthers. Plummer floats it into the end zone. Couple of penalty markers. So Devonshire was back in coverage against Thrash, and it appears there was contact.
Yeah, good protection up front, plenty of time for Plummer to allow Thrash to come across and clear and put it out there for him. And here's a look at Devonshire
Pass
working
interference. Defense, number 12. Penalty took place in the end zone. The ball be placed at the 2-yard line. First down.
Little swim move for Thrash, and he got back outside, and Devonshire knew he had to just hang on. We've seen that a couple times already here tonight. It's really all you can do when you're beat like that. Don't give them the freebie, make them earn it. But now it's a little bit easier for them to do just that as that ball's up on the 2-yard line. First down and goal for the Cards.
It up the middle towards the goal line. Gurendo coming up just short. Ran into Donovan McMillan, leading tackler for the Panthers.
McMillan doing a good job of recognizing and stepping up and filling that gap in a hurry. We saw him make a nice play on the goal line against Cincinnati. One stop to force a field goal try, but here's just second and goal now.
That was a 27-21 loss. Up the middle, no problem. Gurendo slams it in from short yardage for Louisville. How about the Cards on that drive? They picked up a 3rd and 18. And Gurendo, the senior, provides the finishing touches from a yard away.
Sometimes this complimentary football that you hear so much about is a little bit easier said than done. After a stop by the defense, offense can't do anything, but this offense sure can. Louisville yesterday, wasn't it, Worthy?
It was perfect yesterday. Temps in the high 60s, sunshine. That's okay. What did Pat Narduzzi say? It's his kind of weather. Right now the score is in the favor of the visiting Cards. On the return, Kenny Johnson fighting his way close to the 25-yard line for Kenny Johnson.
All right, not to be confused at all with Rivas Island. It's an island, but just a different kind. Who's a nice guy and who's an F-boy? 3 ladies will put their instincts to the test on an all-new season of F-Boy Island this Monday, October 16th at 8/7 Central. And I'm on it. I'm all over it. My wife and I watched the finale of season 2. Can't wait to see what's going down on F-Boy Island.
Wow. Now that was a promotional read. Well done, James. Veilleux avoiding pressure. Flips it past the 40. Catch made Bartholomew. Just shy of midfield. What an adjustment by the tight end, Gavin Bartholomew.
And the craftiness here off the play fake. The pressure again is there. Veilleux stepping up in the pocket, and a nice touch on the football to get it to Bartholomew. Heck of a football play there to move the chains.
23 yards of the pass play to Bartholomew. Veilleux hands it off. Flemister bounced out of bounds. TJ Quinn sent him out.
Yeah, just to be able to chip away and just to make Louisville fear that you can run it on them, whether it's Flemister or Hannon or even Daniel Carter, who's a talented back. Having some success on the ground will make things so much easier for Veilleux in his first start.
Right now, Veilleux is 2 of 7 in the throw game, 70 yards and the touchdown. Feeling the heat and ripped to the turf. Veilleux goes down. Mason Reiger, number 95, has the sack for the Cards.
The motor for Reiger right up top, right behind that water spot, and you've got to help him out. Help out your quarterback a little bit, at least give him some sort of resistance. Sebo Flemister just fans on the block, and Reiger, who got to Sam Hartman twice in the win over Notre Dame and 2 tackles for loss and a forced fumble in that big win. One of them was against Big Joe Alt, offensive lineman for the Irish, that hadn't given up a sack in a couple years.
Veilleux's pass is incomplete to Flemister. So that was a 3rd down play for the Panthers, who had appeared to gain a little traction offensively, James, but they've got to punt it away after this misfire.
Yeah, you know, and Sebo Flemister, who has a chance, they're still waiting for a back to kind of step up and say, hey, this is my job. Those back-to-back plays a little bit costly. Flemister not able to get a hand on a rusher, and they're unable to hang on to the football with those hands.
That'll bounce into the end zone. 14-7, 9.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. ACC football on the CW.
Inside the NFL breaks down the week's action.
He might have played it.
Virginia Tech defeating Wake Forest and Blacksburg 30-13. Trevor Scales will take you through halftime. The Subaru halftime report coming up. A little bit of a misdirection to Coleman. Appears to have first down yardage in the vicinity of that 30-yard line. It's enough at the 31.
There's Jawhar Jordan over on the sidelines. There's his 9th, the 2 rushes, 8 yards. We had some, even Coach Brom telling Trevor Scales right before kickoff, he wasn't sure, didn't look like he would go. He started, ran a little bit. Haven't seen him in a while, though. That was a nice looking ball play by Brian Brom.
This is Turner. His teammate Jordan ran for 143 yards, James, in the win against Notre Dame. The 4th time this season he's run for 100 or more, but currently on the sideline. We were told a bit of a hamstring issue, and right now it's keeping him on the sideline for the Cards. Ball at the 41. Correction, back at the 37. Nice move at the 41, eluding a tackle. Past midfield for Turner. And finally pushed out of bounds by Philip O'Brien.
You know, and in that pregame interview, Jeff Brom said, hey, it's the next man up mentality. Whether it's Isaac Garendo, who we've seen run the football pretty hard, scoring a touchdown just a few moments ago. And here you're going to see Maurice Turner, and a great job of making that cut, making one guy miss and then 2, and then getting all he can. Taking it up the sidelines, and a nice big hitter down the sideline. A lot like those of Jawhar Jordan, who was averaging over 7.5 yards a carry coming in top back in the ACC.
Turner just picked up 30 yards on the previous carry, bashes his way to a more modest gain. Williams on the stop. There is a Pitt player down on the field. So they'll attend to that Panther. We'll be right back. That team went 9-1 that year, James. They're being honored this weekend as well, and tonight at our game. They were not invited to a bowl game. Their only loss was to Navy and Heisman Trophy winner Roger Staubach. That pass complete. On the play fake, Puriski goes out of bounds. One more layer to that 1963 team, James. Ernie Borghetti was an All-American on that team. his son EJ is the outstanding sports information director now here at Pitt.
Yeah, he does a fantastic job, along with RJ and Dominic. Always great to come up here. You know you're going to be taken care of with all the information. It takes a lot of pride in being a Pitt Panther, and takes a lot of pride in helping out all the broadcast crews. Uninvited, the watches said that those guys got, because they weren't invited to a bowl game. This one away on that last play, Tom. Another Pitt Panther who's down, but last play was a nice play. That run starting to work a little bit, starting to chip away, being able to have success running the football. You hit him with a hard play action pass, and Kuriski was left all alone. And a nice easy pitch to get that first down. But on first down, good coverage down the field, and Plummer forced to just throw it out of bounds at 2nd and 10.
That's Dayon Hayes, who was coming to the sideline shaken up.
Well, and moments ago, we saw Devin Danielson banged up on the ground.
He had to come out, James. David Green coming in at nose tackle, number 2.
Danielson had been hurt. A couple guys getting banged up in that off week. And missed tackles had been an issue for this defense. Felt like they needed to thud it up a little bit more, but in doing so, they got some guys injured.
Cards back in the red zone, 2 for 3 in the game. Plummer pursued and hit. Did the ball come out? The crowd thinks the Panthers have the football, and the officials agree. Plummer lost it. Panther football. Samuel Okunlola falls on it for the Panthers.
And just watch the pressure. And Plummer's got to feel this, that he's coming, and protect that football. Big number 8, ruthless. And not only is he there for the sack, but just good coaching there as he comes with the big haymaker. Samuel Okunlola. Number 5 turnover on the year for Pitt. How many times have we talked about, hey, the ball just hasn't gone their way? Well, the big man making sure they finally get one. Fumble recovery, number 5 on the season.
He's still got that football, James. Going for the alley-oop jam on the turnover on that sideline, as is customary for the Panthers, and why not celebrate that? Trying to pull an upset here against number 14 Louisville. So glad that you're with us for ACC football on the CW. Christian Veilleux making his first career start. Spent a couple of seasons at Penn State before joining the Pitt program. That's Hammond Jr. on the run. We talked with Veilleux yesterday. James, he rolled in like a cool breeze from Canada and had all the right answers, didn't he?
He was so excited. Come to find out, he's from the same hometown as Jesse Palmer, another Canadian quarterback right up there in Ottawa. I asked him if he had ever met the former Bachelor star. He said, no, but I have to. I can't wait to. He didn't know that Steve Eiserman, he didn't know who Steve Eiserman was from there. He was a little bit shocked. There's a nice pickup.
Bub Means, who's got the touchdown catch. That was in the first quarter. Makes that catch. Storm Duck, the North Carolina transfer. There's a Pitt player down also on the play. And that thin offensive line already, James, that's Branson Taylor, who is on the turf. So the training staff attending to Branson Taylor for Pitt. That's to go in our second quarter. Tom Wormy, James Bates, Trevor Scales, who's on the sidelines. We are here with our outstanding production crew for ACC football on the CW. Christian Veilleux, first career start. 3 of 9, 75 yards on the touchdown pass to Bub Means for Veilleux in the first half. Bounces off the receiver, Bub Means. May have been a little bit behind him. James, you can see the rain still coming down here in Pittsburgh.
Well, it's almost like he wasn't expecting it. You know, just kind of like easing his way out of that break. I don't know if he thought maybe the ball was supposed to go somewhere else, but got to be ready for it. Yeah, a little bit behind, but still a catchable football. And it's second and short instead of second down and 10 again, as we near 4.5 minutes left to play in the first half.
Veilleux rifles that one. First down, Panthers, close to the 45. And this time, Bub Means was ready for it, Biggs.
Yeah, he was ready for it. Here's that quick release. Good protection, but he's got to thread that needle. Throws it by the hands of two guys dropping into that zone. And that time Means hauls it in and moving those chains. And so trying to get some points after that big turnover, the forced fumble and recovery by Samuel Okunlola, the freshman from Massachusetts, trying to put some energy on this sidelines and perhaps tie it up before halftime.
First turnover by either team in our game, as Pitt got 13 yards on the pass play. And they're going to give some of it back right here with the flag on the play.
Before the snap, false snap. Offense number 3. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's Dejon Reynolds for the Panthers.
Day, former Florida Gator. Donovan McMillan plays over on the defensive side of the ball. It's the momentum. You've got the momentum going. And little things like that may not seem huge, but you can't kill a drive with momentum.
Veilleux coming back to it inside the 20 and hauled in. Kenny Johnson with the catch for Pitt.
Little back shoulder throw right here in this man coverage. He's got to come back for it. And one thing that these defensive backs have done a great job for Louisville is watching those eyes and trying to motor down and get involved, but unable to come back and get a piece of it right there, Benjamin Perry. And so inside the red zone, Veilleux and the Panthers.
34 yards and into the red zone for Pitt. Quick release, sideline, and out of bounds. And Trevor Scales, you can see Pitt moving that ball effectively.
The confidence from Christian right about now is on 100, it feels like. He feels like he's gotten into a groove to now. There's a rhythm to the offense. They're able to find those windows, and he trusts his arm like no other time.
Veilleux starting to settle in. Struggled in those first 2 drives through the long touchdown pass to Means. 46 yards. Means had just 1 catch 2 weeks ago at Virginia Tech. It was for a touchdown and 75 yards from Dracovic. Ground game. Right side to the end zone and just short of it. Down near the 2 on the run by Hammond Jr. And the Panthers try to tie this one up, Bakes, driving it down the field.
Well, Hammond doing a good job. He's hitting the right gaps. He's been hitting the right holes. There just hasn't been much there for him. But look at this blocking. Great job by the guys not only on the inside, the big guys that have been so banged up, but outside as well. And now first down and goal, trying to put some points on the board after that turnover.
5 carries, 35 yards rushing for Hammond Jr. Just took it down to the 2. Veilleux, incomplete to Bartholomew.
A lot going on right here, and just showing you Frank Cignetti, the offensive coordinator, they've got trust in the young quarterback in his first start. You know, you think, oh, let's just try to run it and pound that football in there. We're having a little bit of success on the ground. Instead, they go with the hard play fake. It was there, just through the hands here in the wet of Gavin Bartholomew.
Football at the 2, second and goal. Christian Veilleux, the sophomore, wants to throw it, backtracks into the end zone, too far for the receiver. Flag is out. Konata Mumpfield was the Pitt receiver in the back of the end zone.
Holding defense number 11. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Well, Pat Narduzzi was further out on the field than Jimbo Fisher when the play was intercepted and ran by him at Texas A&M a couple weeks ago, trying to call timeout. Fortunately for Pitt fans, nobody saw him. And so with that penalty flag, it's a fresh set of downs. A little bit of luck, a few things starting to go the way of the Pitt Panthers here.
Panthers went to Louisville last year and lost 24-10. Had won 7 straight road games prior to that loss. From the 2, Flemister to the goal line. Some of the Panthers players think it's a touchdown. The officials unravel the pile, and it's a touchdown and an extra point away from tying this game for Pittsburgh.
One more look at it. You see those white hats, they certainly seem to win the battle up front, but Sebo Flemister just finding a seam. There's a good look at it, right down the line. The hand was down. You couldn't see if there was a knee down.
So they are taking a second look, James. If it stands, it's a 10-play drive. To determine if the knee was down.
Yeah, I don't think so, because right there, you know, there's no telling if that knee.
I mean,
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
so the call is upheld. Touchdown for Pitt. Flemister, 1-yard TD run to cap off a 10-play drive for Coach Narduzzi. An extra point from tying this game with 1:23 to go in our first half. Sauls for the extra point. $14-all at Acrisure Stadium. And every time the Panthers have been hit with a right cross, James, they come back with an uppercut and tie the game.
Another look at Sauls, who's been so good for Pitt. No flag there to get the extra point. And so now 1:23 and 3 timeouts for this Louisville Cardinal bunch. And Narduzzi knows it. They're not in that halftime locker room yet. They've got to make sure they keep it right here, knotted at 14. Plenty of time to work for Plummer and company.
Is back deep. energy in the building on homecoming. Fans braving the elements. Production crew as well, I might add. 1:23 to go in the second quarter.
Trevor down there, and and it was so nice yesterday here in Pittsburgh. I mean, just beautiful, and you knew it was coming, and it wasn't maybe. It was going to happen, and both of these teams knew all week. They've been practicing with the wet ball. Wow. There you go.
That rain going sideways towards the Allegheny River, which meets the Monongahela and the Allegheny to form the Ohio. Plummer. That's incomplete. Along the sideline for Jamari Thrash. MJ Devonshire right near Thrash, who's been a weapon, James. How about 8 catches and 75 yards and a touchdown in the win against Notre Dame for Thrash?
Oh, just big-time plays. Get him that ball in space. He's got to hang on to it, though. The transfer from Georgia State. A bunch of football players on this Cardinal team from the state of Georgia.
Thrash has 6 receiving TDs. That leads the conference. That's over the middle and complete. Into double coverage and caught. Jimmy Callaway.
Callaway, the transfer from Tennessee. 8 catches, 88 yards coming in here, and he does a good job. He just secures it with that body to make sure it's slippery. Just catch it out away from his body. Helps out a little bit.
Callaway got 34 yards. This is Guerrendo. He's got a 1-yard TD run to finish an 11-play drive for Louisville. That in the second quarter. 53 seconds to go. The Cardinals have taken a timeout. Tied at 14, but moving the football after a 1-yard plunge and a touchdown from Sibo Flemister just a moment ago for the Panthers. Entertaining football game so far, James Bates, in these first 2 quarters, and ready to put the finishing touches on it.
Well, absolutely. You had a sense, even though Pittsburgh has had a tough start as they entered tonight 1-4, that only win back here on opening day against Wofford, 45-7. Then the next week, Cincinnati comes in for the River City rivalry, and you know it wasn't the typical. It didn't seem like the typical Pat Narduzzi football team. They struggled a little bit, maybe a little bit more physical. Satterfield's squad from Cincinnati came in here and went away with the win. Even in that Virginia Tech loss, it was pretty lopsided a couple weeks ago before the break. But after that break, and Louisville coming off that huge win.
Plummer, deep, end zone, incomplete and a flag. Amari Huggins Bruce was the Cardinals receiver in the end zone. Coach Narduzzi thinks it's against Louisville.
Here we're going to get a look at it. There's the pressure late on Plummer. And you know,
Pass interference, defense, number 5. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
And I don't know. I mean, you both got to be able to fight for that ball. If anything, it's a little grab right before they cross the goal line. I think where the flag came out is where they stumbled a little bit. And you got 2 guys fighting for the football. That's a tough one right there in this situation now with 48 seconds left to go before halftime. But Plummer and the Cards will certainly take it.
That'll spot the football back in the red zone where Louisville tonight 2 of 3. And those 2 TDs. 7-yard pass play, 1-yard rush. Guerrendo. That pass incomplete. Huggins Bruce could not put the clamps on it.
Again, we talked with Brian Brom on the Zoom call earlier this week, the offensive coordinator for Louisville, and he said, you know, I want a lot of those throws to be guys running out a little swing passes to the outside, a little bit easier to catch that ball going away as opposed to coming right back. And there's an example right there, right through the hands of Huggins Bruce. A few drops here for the Cardinal offense here tonight.
Rendo inside the 15 and a timeout taken by Louisville. 38 seconds on the clock now. Rain really starting to come down. I don't know what happened to that outlook where it was supposed to taper off. James, at about 7 o'clock, it's now past 8.
Was that the case?
On the eastern seaboard. We'll fight through it. Down to 50 degrees right now, and the rain continues to fall. Earlier today, I swear the skies were starting to brighten. And then the precipitation rolled in and has stayed and been consistent.
You must have been on the other side of the hotel for being there.
Other side of the Allegheny.
There you go. There's Narduzzi wanting an explanation. And
well, he saw the replay on the big board,
yeah.
James.
Well, and we talked with Randy Bates quite a bit about this yesterday. It's, you know, the defenders are at such a disadvantage. They'll never call it on the offensive guys. Not that there should have been a flag offensively there. But you get guys, you know, everybody's got a right to fight for that football. Here's your 3rd down and 5 now after that timeout.
So Pitt will take its 2nd timeout.
It's a big one right here. It's, you know, you hold them to a field goal. It just has to be such a relief to finally get one of those turnovers. Only 5, as we mentioned, coming in. And Louisville on the other side of the field, they forced 8 turnovers in the last 2 games. 5 turnovers forced, 3 interceptions in the win over Notre Dame. They've put it on the ground a couple times here tonight. Once from Plummer, once from Garendo. And then, of course, the Okunlola sack strip, fumble recovery. So here's your 3rd down and 5. Got to be careful in this situation here. Pat Narduzzi put on the tape of all the different ways they could go with the trick plays over the years, or even like the little misdirections that we saw earlier from Braun.
Plummer backtracking underneath, caught at the 10, down to the 5. Thrash will make it 1st and goal for Louisville. 9 yards on the play.
It starts with the guys up front. Protection there for Plummer. He's going to get a little bit of pressure late, but enough time for Thrash to come across.
And now they drive it to the goal line and in for the touchdown for Louisville. Garendo to the house for the 2nd time tonight for Louisville.
Louisville fans slapping hands, and they should be fired up. Impressive drive, under 1.5 minutes left to go in the 1st half after Pitt had punched it in, and they go right down the field and answer. Look at it, just making sure that nose of the football was across the goal line, and it certainly looked like it from that shot. So give this offensive line continues to do a good job.
Louisville goes 75 yards in 58 seconds on 7 plays, and Garendo, 2nd rushing touchdown of the night and 3rd of the season for Isaac Garendo. They did have the benefit of that pass interference play in the end zone, but good teams capitalize on those positive situations, and that's what the Cardinals just did. 58 seconds, James.
Took it right down. Guerrero come to Louisville's first stop in college was at Wisconsin. A lot of great running backs gone through there in Madison, Wisconsin, but he's doing it right now for the Louisville Cardinals and doing it replacing Jawhar Jordan. Word is he's got a little bit of a sore hamstring from that game last week against Notre Dame.
Saw him early in the game, a couple of carries for 8 yards. Haven't seen him since. And Guerrero and Maurice Turner's been impressive as well, running the football for the Louisville Cardinals. Flemister was the player to scoop it up on the ground ball. So, James, we've got 21 seconds. What's the call here from Coach Narduzzi?
You got to be careful with this wet ball. You've got a quarterback who's dropping it in there. Just be safe with it and protect that football, I think, is the call. One timeout remaining. And if you watch college football the last few weeks, even you go back to our Boston College Virginia game, scoring on that last play of the half. There's plenty of time on that clock at the very least to get Sauls out there for a field goal try. But just number one, take care of the rock.
Veilleux with a conservative play. Hammond Jr. trying to spin his way up towards the first down. Came up short of the line to gain at the 38.
And winding that clock and not using that timeout here.
Yeah, they have that one timeout. It appears they will not use it and go to the locker room. And so Veilleux throws a 46-yard TD pass in the first quarter to Bub Means. But it's Louisville scoring in the final minute and final seconds of our first half to take the locker room lead at 21-14. Isaac Guerrero with a couple of short yardage bursts into the end zone. 2 TD runs and a Jack Plummer TD pass as well. Trevor?
Here with head coach.
Points. Ready for the second half on the CW. Guerrero will not return that one. Couple of TD runs. 1 yard and 5 yards for Guerrero in the first half. Jack Plummer, 151 yards through the air. The TD pass was 7 yards to complete a 5-play drive, and he found Chris Bell in the end zone. That was on the opening drive. Keep in mind that Louisville forced 5 Notre Dame turnovers last week, yet to get one so far against the Panthers. 1st and 10 from its own 25 for the Louisville Cardinals. 6-0 on the season, 3-0 in conference play, and tied for the lead in the ACC. Maurice Turner. Turner had 4 carries and 52 yards, James, in the first half. Now remember, coming in, he'd only run for 78 total yards on 19 carries.
Well, he had the big hitter for 30 yards. Rendo's longest, the 10-yard run. Once again, if you're joining us late, Jawhar Jordan probably not going to go anymore in this game.
Kevin Coleman gets knocked back, and he comes up limping.
Heck of a play here by Solomon DeShields, who takes his blocker and just drives him right back into the lap of Coleman. And Louisville lucky that Coleman hangs on to that one. He's losing his tape and his shoe as he limps off over on the sideline. So a 3rd down and 7 now here on the opening drive of the second half. Nice play there by the linebacker.
That was Josh Lifson driven back into his teammate Coleman to stop the play. 3rd and 7. To the sideline. Thrash trying to lunge for that first down. Javon McIntyre defensively for Pitt, number 7. He might be just short of that line to gain, James, just beyond that 35-yard line.
Well, he ran that route. He broke it off right at the sticks. It's a nice little route, nice cushion. And that ball a little bit late getting there. And with that, he came back to the football, but came back in front of the line to gain. So here's a 4th down and 1.
5 for 6 on 4th down this season for Louisville. Into the pile. Initially, it doesn't appear like enough. Short. Turnover on downs, and the ball to the Panthers. Turner couldn't get it.
We'll chalk this one up as turnover number 2, even though it won't read like that in the score sheet. A 4th down stop with outstanding field position. A great job of standing up those bodies on the offensive front by that defensive line. And then knifing back there with the penetration and handing the ball right over to the offense. Big 3 and out for that Pitt D. And here comes Christian Veilleux. His numbers here in his first start. Started at Penn State. No starts there. A little bit of action here earlier this year. You mentioned it, Tom, threw a touchdown pass against Wofford. But getting the start tonight, and now nice field position trying to tie this one up.
He'd only attempted 27 passes leading into this game. Getting the start from Phil Dracovic. He transferred from BC into the Pitt program prior to this season. It was a difficult decision, no question, James, for the coaching staff for Pitt, but they had to change it up. They had the bye week, the loss 2 weeks ago on the road against Virginia Tech, and they had to mix it up.
Well, they did. They did. And Frank Signetti, who coached Phil Dracovic back at Boston College, it was hard for him as well, reunited and coming back home for Dracovic, but he's handled it well and taken care of his football team first and foremost, they say.
Misdirection. Kenny Johnson. Johnson hops inside the 30 as we go to the sidelines, and Trevor.
Having seen this defense come out and get a massive 3 and out, you heard I talked with Coach Narduzzi coming out of the half, and he mentioned that's exactly the type of intensity that he wanted to see right out of the gate. Mind you, he wants to clean up the penalties here and there, perceived or not, but offensively he's proud of the way Christian has come out and balled, but it's a matter of his receivers helping him out. He'll look for more of the same going into these final 2 frames.
Yeah, Trevor, not quite as many drops over on this Pitt side as you've seen for the Louisville Cardinals. Here's a big 3rd down and 4 for the home team now.
Bub Means is the leading receiver with 4 catches for Veilleux. Edges bend, gets rid of it, incomplete near the 30. And that Pitt bench is looking for a flag. They're not going to get it. Mumpfield against Duck. And in this weather, you know who wins that one-on-one.
It is a good day for Ducks. And Storm Duck, the guy who was his old coach, Mac Brown, said he's an NFL guy if he stays healthy. Narduzzi wanted a penalty. He won't get one, so here comes a field goal try 46 yards away.
So Sauls, 4 of 7 on the season. Sauls right down the middle. Ben Sauls cuts the Louisville. I was over there last night, James. Got a little peek at that. Cathedral of Learning. That most recognizable building on the campus.
Well, if you think that fireworks on homecoming are big here in Pittsburgh, light up night, late November, when they light it up for Christmas time. It's a lot of fun, a lot of fireworks, a lot of beautiful Christmas lights downtown too.
Well, this is our second trip this year to Acrisure Stadium in the Steel City. We were here for the game against Cincinnati, and that was a tough loss for the Panthers, who came back with a couple of TDs in the second half to make it a close game. Ultimately won by Cincinnati. Homecoming weekend. And the Panthers trying to pull the upset of number 14 Louisville. If you go back to their bowl game a season ago, they've won 7 in a row for the first time since 2014. Pressured. Plummer just had to throw it out of bounds. Solomon to Shields, bringing the heat.
Narduzzi wanted a grounding call, and Plummer doing all he could just to get outside that tackle box, it seemed. And the pressure there right away, and again, a little bit more friction would help these quarterbacks out, these rushers that are allowed to just run free, and Plummer lucky to get rid of that one. And just bring up a 2nd down and 10 now.
Louisville beat Cincinnati in the Fenway Bowl last year. This is Plummer's toss down the sideline. There's a little bit of contact, clean play. Callaway against Woods. Callaway the receiver for the Cardinals, Woods the defender. Now it's 3rd down.
Plummer took a hit right there as he let go of that one. No flag. Here's another look at it. Another guy coming clean. Right up the gut. A little bit of a delayed blitz right there. Nice coverage down the field by A.J. Woods. Experienced cornerbacks back there, and a couple coaches that aren't very happy.
There's a lot of spirited discussion going on along the sidelines. And now 3rd and 10. Plummer back to pass. Got away from the first man. Could not get away from the second. Solomon to Shields. Kamara there as well. Loss of 11. 4th down.
Well, Pitt fans are probably saying this is a little bit more like it. This is what they expect out of these Randy Bates defenses the last few years. Again, not enough protection, and guys just with a little nudge, it's not going to do anything with these hard rushers. And Kamara back there, good to have him healthy, and
Travelstead went down. There was contact after the punts. Wabuko on the return to the 45 and rocked out of bounds. There's a flag on that play too on the end.
Well, here's the sloppiness that I was just talking about, something that neither team can afford. First things first, it was a dangerous play back there, Travelstead, of running into the kicker. And then this one here out of bounds, and what was going to be decent field position.
So, depending on the severity of the contact with the punter, this could produce a 1st down. Now, there's the other element of the flag at the end of the play near the sideline. Here's Jeff Heiser.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Running into the kicker, receiving team. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Those penalties will both be administered. 4th down.
So it looks like, Bates, we're going to do 4th down again because of the penalties. There's the running into the kicker.
And there you see, it's just, the protection of these players. It's that plant leg comes down, and they've got to protect that knee, and a defenseless player. And, this one just a little bit too overly aggressive as the runner was going out of bounds. That one was close, and so it will be, when it's all said and done, a 4th down and, gosh, looks like about 20 yards.
I mean, that is a huge turn of events, James.
Well,
you don't have the roughing the punter for the automatic 1st down, but then you've got the roughing, unnecessary roughness on the sideline.
That's why Jeff Brom was so upset. Question is, can Louisville in that short amount of time figure out how to stop this? Because they should have blocked that one. Here they come again.
Travelstead from his own end zone gets it away. Boku lets it bounce. Rolls inside the 40.
Travelstead's limping off the field here, and lucky just to get that one out of there and taking a little bit of a...
His own end zone. Still excellent field position for the Panthers. Just inside their own 40, trailing 21-17. Time here in the 3rd. Veilleux goes deep into double coverage and knocked away. Going to go down the field to Kenny Johnson. Quincy Riley back there with Johnson defensively.
Outstanding job here by Quincy Riley. He's a heck of a corner. The transfer from Middle Tennessee. Stride for stride, sees that ball. He has such good ball skills of a receiver. Remember, it was last week Sam Hartman hadn't thrown an interception for Notre Dame. Opening drive, Riley with a beautiful interception on the sidelines, and then the offense took it 70 yards to score. First points of the game and really set the tone.
13 points off turnovers for Louisville in that game against Notre Dame. This is Bartholomew trying to drag a Cardinal with him towards the sticks. First down is right at the 49. Devin Neal on the tackle. Bartholomew, the junior.
Somebody help him out. He needs a teammate. That's why it's good to get in the huddle.
He got 9 yards on the catch from Schuylkill Haven, Pennsylvania. And now third and short. Just 1 for 7 on third down of the game for Pitt. Try to ram it up the middle, and it goes nowhere. Driven back, perhaps. Sibo Flemister ran into a red and white defensive wall from Louisville. Fourth down.
Tom, I think it's 34 TJ Quinn. You know, 2 new linebackers there in Quinn and Alderman. They lost a couple good ones last year. And TJ Quinn has been fantastic, leading the team coming in. 43 tackles, had a career high 11 against NC State. What do they have on fourth and short?
Panthers. Ooh, that spot. Had to get just beyond the 49. Flemister.
Wow, that's right at it. And great job there. Penetration is that right side of the line washed down a couple bodies, but a whole lot of white jerseys sitting there waiting after it is the undertow, if you will. And the penetration will be interesting here after that spot.
I mean, it's right at the end of the football. Right on the nose.
Wow. We saw Narduzzi's defense shut down Louisville on a 4th and 1. And here his offense goes for it on 4th and 1 and just doing anything, trying to scrap and get a win. You think Deuce is pretty fired up down there?
Brought out the chains to reveal a first down. Veilleux. He's into Louisville territory. By the way, now 6 of 12 on 4th down for the season for Pitt. Not afraid to go for it. On 4th down, looking for their 2nd win of the season. Been a struggle since that win against Wofford at home in week 1. Remember, they had the bye week.
Yeah, the locals, you see that name, the locals, they want Veilleux, like Mario Lemieux, you know, it's like, and that's what his dad even said. He goes, no, Dad, hey, look, we got a good thing going. It's Veilleux. We're going to leave it at that.
Christian set the record straight.
Yes.
In our meeting yesterday. So handoff, left side, Hammond Jr. 5'9" and 195 pounds, doing the work for the Panthers. Stephen Herron on the tackle.
Hammond, the Sun Bowl MVP. Great in that bowl game, and Abanikanda was outstanding back for him the last couple of years. Actually, you watch Jawhar Jordan of Louisville when he's healthy. It reminds you a little bit of Abanikanda. Here's a 3rd down and short now again for Pitt.
The Panthers won their last 5 games of the season, including that bowl game last year. They'll swing it out. That's to the 40-yard line. That should be first down yardage.
Good job.
Mumpfield, James.
Yeah, good job by Mumpfield. You got that ball in your hands, turn it up. Get what you can right now. Don't dance around. He dances around, and it's going to get interesting. Instead, he turned it up, got the line to gain, and moves those sticks. It's at the 40-yard line. Nice little drive here put together by Pitt.
Clock rolling, 6:41 and counting in the 3rd. There's pass. sideline is complete. Mumpfield did well to hang on to that one with Storm Duck all over him.
Storm Duck, a lob pitch catch to move it forward for 5 yards on first down.
Second and 4. Veilleux. Mumpfield, we've seen that in this game where the receiver's not quite ready for the football, James. Seen that a couple of times. That might have been an instance of that.
Yeah, you're trying to get it to the leading receiver here for the Pitt Panthers. And again, like you said earlier, it was a little bit on his back hip, like we saw in the first half. The incomplete pass to Bub Means. So again, it gets interesting with a third down and short here, third down and 4.
Potentially 4-down territory for the Panthers. Can they get it on third down? They can. Kenny Johnson cutting over the middle and inside the 20 for Pitt.
Just too soft in that situation. Kenny Johnson, just nice, easy slant, the easiest throw there is for a quarterback, and nobody there to defend it. Pitch and catch and moving those chains. 11th play of the drive coming up right now.
15 yards on the pass play to Kenny Johnson. Run it, the cut from Flemister. He got stood up and driven back. Crowd does not like the extra effort by the Louisville defense to stop Flemister.
You know, third down conversions have been hard to come by for this offense, but here on this drive alone, it's 2 of 3. Remember, they got it on 4th down as well, and that's winning on first down. There you see a pickup of almost 5 yards on first down. It sets up a lot of things for Cignetti, the offensive coordinator, that he can do here on second.
1 for 2 in the red zone for the Panthers, and
first charge timeout. Pittsburgh.
4:29 in Louisville, Kentucky. Impressive there. Pitt has the football, though, and driving. Veilleux, 5-yard line, and down out of bounds inside the 5. Neal made the tackle.
And again, right down at that student section, they're fired up for the new quarterback. A little bit of life he's breathing into this program right now, and here he's got him down, knocking on the door one more time, and this time with a chance to retake that lead.
11 yards on the rush by Veilleux, and it's 1st and goal for the Panthers. Have not led tonight. They have responded each and every time that Louisville has scored.
Second charge timeout.
So the Panthers have taken timeout. 3:43 to go in the 3rd. Christian Veilleux, first career start tonight.
Yeah, it took a little while to get there, but when it finally did, dimes like that dropped above Means. This one a little bit behind his big tight end, Bartholomew, but he knows what to do with it. And there's a big pickup here just moments ago to keep this drive alive. 3:43 left in the 3rd quarter.
Now, James, keep in mind, Pittsburgh just used its 2nd timeout and the 2nd on this drive. Remember, the play clock was running down, and they had to beat the clock and call a timeout and avoid the penalty. And then Veilleux, 11 yards down to the 3-yard line on the QB run.
Well, it really was interesting sitting down with him yesterday. Kind of reminded you get Callis, seemed to take, unfortunately, a little bit of it for granted, but you know, growing up in Canada, that's all he wanted. All he wanted was a chance to play big-time football, and had to fight through COVID. He moved down here to Maryland, to the Bullis School. Had a chance right here with Pitt.
On first and goal, to the goal line, and in for the touchdown. Bo Flemister for the Panthers in front for the first time tonight.
You're going to see the left side of that line. Guys crashing down. An excellent job there by Branson Taylor, who left the game injured earlier. So many injuries up front, just piecing it together, and they're making it work right now, not just for their quarterback, but for Bo Flemister and the rest of the backs as well.
24-21, 13 plays, 61 yards, and the second short yardage TD run from Bo Flemister from 3 yards out.
Yeah, a couple short ones for Louisville and Garendo, and here's Flemister, second time here today, and a no-doubter. He's across that goal line, and he's pumped. His buddies are as well.
First 2 TD runs of the season for Flemister, flexing from 3 yards away and taking it in. How about the Panthers against number 14 Louisville? We told you about the strange circumstance when Coach Brom's teams pull those top 10 victories. And they did it last week against Notre Dame. It happened to Coach Brom a few times as the head coach at Purdue, and trying to stay undefeated but trailing.
You know, and it was a defense right there that's done such a good job of forcing turnovers. Ron English's defense, they kept them in front. They didn't give up any big plays. They made them earn it all the way. But a fourth down conversion and able to take care of that football there on that drive, they've got the lead.
No return from the Cardinals. ACC Football on the CW returns next Saturday as the upset-minded Cavaliers travel to Chapel Hill to face Heisman Trophy candidate Drake May and the high-powered Tar Heels. Virginia against number 12 North Carolina next Saturday, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific, only on the CW. We will see Drake May.
Yes, great quarterback play here in this conference. Jordan Travis, FSU will win today. Drake May had a big one tonight against the Canes.
A couple of Heisman Trophy candidates as Turner goes out of bounds, ridden out by Hayes. Yeah, they're in a tussle with Miami, top 25 matchup. North Carolina and Louisville, 2 of the 3 undefeated teams coming into the weekend in the ACC. The other, Florida State, stays that way with a win at home against Syracuse earlier today.
Duke doesn't have to play Clemson, FSU, or North Carolina this season.
They do have Duke, Miami on the schedule, Kentucky at the end of the year. So the finish line is quite a distance away. In particular, tonight, we got a lot of ball to play, James, with 2:51 and rolling in the third. Speaking of third and short for Louisville. 3 of 7 on third down of the game. Plummer still has it, drops it over the middle, and the catch is made. Jamari Thrash outstretched for the grab and into Pitt territory.
Wow, what a play call here by Brian Brom. Everybody in the house think that it's all bodies in, just trying to bully it for 1 yard across. And selling it hard is Plummer. And here's Thrash on the outside, acting like he's going to block, and then he turns it upfield, and he just can't keep his feet underneath him, or it would have been an easy 6.
That play was 31 yards. To the ground near the 30 for Turner. 5'10" and 190 pounds, sophomore from Nichols, Georgia.
The play calling going on between the brothers, the Braum brothers. It's a play calling it for a defensive coordinator that certainly keeps you on your toes. And there have been a lot of trick plays back as a head coach at Western Kentucky at Purdue for Jeff Braum, and but not necessarily a trick play there, but just rolling the dice a little bit, perhaps selling it hard and executing.
Plummer's pass near the 20, leaping grab and hauled in. First down. Chris Bell, who has the touchdown catch from Plummer, that back in the first quarter, beating Marquez Williams.
And on that touchdown catch early in the game, there you see the thick body. He just uses that body almost like he's a big tight end to wall off the defender. He's a nice target for Plummer. Able to move the sticks one more time.
Plummer buys a little time, throws it into the end zone and throws it away.
Spreading this football around quite a bit throughout the season as well. It's showing some teeth, those cards, huh? They say birds don't fly. Birds don't have teeth. Yeah, they do. They're running the ball as well.
Intercepted. Plummer picked off. MJ Devonshire. Devonshire goes the distance for Pitt. Cards were moving the football. MJ Devonshire had other plans. 86 yards on the return from Devonshire. Only the second interception of the season for the Panthers, but Devonshire takes it the other way.
There he is, down on the bottom. On the receiver. He's going to take a peek there, following a little cut inside, ball overthrown right into his hands. And MJ Devonshire, just the second interception of the season, but also just the 6th turnover, and it's a big one. Turnover number 6 gets 6 points, taking it to the house. And MJ Devonshire, he may be from Aliquippa, like Darrelle Revis, but he went from here to Kentucky instead of Pitt first. So he knows exactly what it's like to dislike these Louisville Cardinals. Big rivalry over there in the Bluegrass State. And both Braum and Plummer upset with those officials.
7th interception of the season for Plummer. Turns into a touchdown for Pitt on the return.
Oh, Jack Plummer was showing that, fortunately, Plummer's he's not supposed to touch that official.
Yeah, you saw Coach Braum step in immediately. Yeah. I think he was only demonstrating. That ball's on the turf. It's a free football. Picked up by the Cards. So Turner was able to grab it. Garendo couldn't handle it, but Turner got on top of it for Louisville.
Let's see if we can see what he's complaining about. And what he's complaining about is the push from the defender, the Shields right there. It goes both ways, because had that ball been completed to the outside, they might have called a pick. But extending those hands out there to take that receiver off of his route, balls in the air. And that's why there were no Cardinals there in the vicinity.
Run it with Turner near the 20. How about the 23rd defensive touchdown under head coach Pat Narduzzi?
3 sacks as well. There's still a lot of football to be played. There's been a lot of good football so far to get the 6-0 for Plummer and the Cards.
Plummer hits his man at the 20. Turning was Thrash and dropped. Panthers led the ACC, James, a season ago with 4 interception returns for touchdowns. And we had mentioned how infrequently they had picked off the opposing quarterback. Only once before tonight, Devonshire the return, 31-21. 3rd and 4, Louisville. Plummer had time to operate. Oh, it's deflected and dropped to the turf. A.J. Woods. That's Kamara shaken up on the play.
Kamara has been banged up. He makes a heck of a move on this rush to hop under the blocker, but I don't know. The flag coming down, he might have gotten there late. There he is, number 11.
Roughing the passer. Defense, number 11. 15-yard penalty. Automatic, first down.
Yeah, and it's the fact that he goes after the helmet. He goes up top and grabs that helmet, and I don't know if he injured his hand in the process. I think he's just now realizing too the flag coming, but he hops underneath Maurice Turner. And these backs have had such a tough time. He could have pulled up and not grabbed that hat. You could see that the ball was gone. They don't like it here. It's a first down, Louisville.
Turner up the sideline, pushed out near the 45. And once again, this play on 3rd down by Kamara, producing the automatic first down, roughing the passer.
I don't know. What do you think?
It's tough. Bates, I know officiating is a difficult job. I get that.
Yeah.
But it appears that he even tried to ease up at the end of the play. But maybe the fact that it was towards the helmet, the point that you made, is certainly valid.
Well,
maybe not to Coach Narduzzi down on that Pitt sideline, but it's another first down for Louisville.
Well, regardless, Bengali Kamara back out there after he left the game, appeared to be injured after it. And so Louisville starting to drive, courtesy of that penalty there again. Just moments ago in the 3rd quarter, they were driving down after the nice pickup by Thrash when it was intercepted.
Pump on the throw. Plummer down the sideline. Leaping attempt is caught. Jimmy Callaway.
They'll take a look at it. Williams and I, here's an example of the officials wanting to be liberal with the call. Down on the field because they know it'll be reviewed. It's a heck of an effort regardless of how this turns out. And look at that. Question will be the heel if it's on that paint at all. But he definitely gets it down, and what an amazing catch.
This could be a 27-yard gain for Louisville. Now that's Marquez Williams defending for Pitt. Left heel.
Oh, wow. This is going to be close. It's outstanding coverage. Heck of a throw and even better catch.
At it. This is Callaway outstretched. Watch the left heel. And there was not enough evidence to overturn the call, which on the field was.
Call stands.
There's 27 yards on the play. What a grab by Jimmy Callaway. Intercepted at the 15 off the receiver. Callaway and into the arms of A.J. Woods. Turnover number 3 for Louisville.
Going and dunking that turnover ball over on the sidelines. Again, just when Louisville looks to be driving it down the field. Little bit behind Callaway. He's got to catch that football in an easy little tip drill right into the hands of Woods. And just like baseball across the street at PNC, when the hitters, they talk about hitting being contagious, turnovers can be contagious as well. 3 big turnovers for a team that has been struggling to just find one here and there.
Panthers had 1 interception all season coming into the game. That is 2 by Plummer tonight. Off the hands of Callaway. Woods ready and waiting. So Devonshire and Woods have the interceptions. Devonshire returned his 86 yards. By the way, the Veilleux TD pass, James, in the first quarter, 46 yards. The bub means the first points that Louisville has allowed in the first quarter all season. And that's what Pitt has done in this game to keep it close. Every time Louisville would score, Pitt would come right back.
Yeah, that's a good point. Outscoring opponents 48-0 in the first quarter. Like Pat Narduzzi was telling his troops, we had them mic'd up before the game. He said, this is Panther weather here tonight. They're certainly acting like it, especially in this second half. You know, aside from those turnovers, remember they had a turnover on downs, a 4th down stop on 4th and short, a 4th and 1 conversion to keep a drive alive. There's a 3rd down and short now. Oh!
It'll be a loss on the play. Almost a 2-yard loss on 3rd and short.
You could hear that pop. No thought about. Here you're going to see a great swim move there by Lowly. Penetration with an outstanding quickness, a great move. And laying the lumber on Hammond, forcing this punt. So big victory here for the defense as they stand after the turnover.
Punt from Caleb Junko coming up to meet it at the 40. Kevin Coleman. Decent field position for Louisville. Trailing 31-21 after the 36-yard punt in the 4th quarter. Last 2 drives have ended with interceptions by the Panthers against Jack Plummer. Cutting up the middle to the 45-yard line. Gurendo, a couple of TD runs in this game. 10-point lead for the Panthers after trailing 21-14 at halftime. Louisville had scored a late TD. Gurendo had a 5-yard run with 25 seconds to go in the second quarter. Past the 50. Into Pitt real estate to Gurendo, and a 1st down for Louisville.
Somebody's got to be out there for him. Can't let that back just slip out of the backfield. Nobody having sights on him. He's got 9 catches coming in, so you know he's a target. All these backs can catch it coming out. 1st down here, plenty of time for Louisville.
7 different receivers utilized by Plummer. Ground game and Gurendo, penalty marker.
Illegal formation. Offense. More than 5 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
'52-year-old Jeff Brom on that Louisville sideline. Former Cardinals quarterback himself, his brother and offensive coordinator Brian, also Louisville quarterback. Jawhar Jordan on that sideline. We saw him early trying to battle a hamstring injury. Have not seen him since the early stages of that first quarter. Louisville took their first possession right down the field and scored. Play fake and Plummer going deep. Center of the field. One-on-one. Incomplete. Jamari Thrash and MJ Devonshire shoulder to shoulder.
Couple good ones going at it right here. 50-50 ball. He's got that left.
That's near the marker to Thrash. That is a first down. That's enough. Thrash now with 8 catches, James, 112 yards.
Well, and they go right at Devonshire, go right back to him after all that energy put into that knocking the ball down. They come right back at him. And you got to know where you are on the field. Where are those sticks?
Too far for Thrash, a popular target at the moment. He and Devonshire. You know who's watching those matchups, those one-on-one matchups? The Pro Football Hall of Famer, Darrell Revis, interviewed by Trevor earlier tonight. We appreciate his time being honored here at Acrisure Stadium.
I'll tell you who else is watching is Mama Devonshire. They had a really cool special on the Jumbotron here in the house and about his mom, about a Pitt mom. Really cool piece that they did on her. Proud of her son.
Plummer into double coverage. His receiver tripped up. It's a clean play. That was Coleman. A.J. Woods. Javon McIntyre also back there for Pitt. Here comes third down for the Cardinals.
Feet getting tangled up. We saw the hand go on the back of McIntyre. But I think the trip is just the feet getting tangled up, and I think it's a good no flag right there. But now you're looking at another third down and long.
Great look from Pylon Camp. 5 of 9 for Louisville on third down. Play clock down to 1. They do get it away. Quick release, Plummer to the sideline and inside the 30-yard line. Finding Huggins Bruce.
And quickly they run Travelstead and company out their field goal unit. A lot of faith in Travelstead, even though he missed one against Notre Dame. Had 4 that he made.
The attempt from 47 yards away. No good. And now 10 of 14 on the season for Travelstead. Still the 10-point lead for Pitt.
With him yesterday, just coming off of that off week. They need it so bad, a big win like this.
And we apologize for the technical difficulties. Back online, 2nd and 11 for the Panthers. Veilleux. Ooh, that was deflected in a near chance. And an interception for Quincy Riley. Mumpfield, the intended receiver. We've seen some footballs go off fingertips and into the hands of the opposing team, James.
Yeah, tough with that constant drizzle. And that one, so close, would have been an easy stroll into the end zone. But still, clock stops, 7:13 left to play, a third down and 11. At the very least, Pittsburgh, you punt it away and make them drive the field, because you've seen what can happen. Now, finally, your defense is starting to turn the football over when you keep them in front. Here it is.
Veilleux wants a deep ball, too deep. Hustling down the sideline was Bub Means, couldn't catch up with it. Those two combined for that 46-yard TD pass in the first quarter. It brings up 4th down. James, the teams haven't played here in Pittsburgh since 2020 in September, and a 3-point win for the Panthers in that instance. Louisville looking for its first win at Pitt since 2012 when they won by 10. As Junko gets it away, the ball bouncing around near the 40 and squirts out of bounds. Coleman was back there for Louisville. Cards have the ball back. Get ACC football in the CW returns next Saturday as the upset-minded Cavaliers travel to Chapel Hill, face Heisman Trophy candidate Drake May and the high-powered Tar Heels. Virginia against number 12 North Carolina next Saturday, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific, only on the CW. Louisville, North Carolina, Florida State. Right now, the 3 undefeated teams in the conference. Florida State's already won today against Syracuse at home.
Holding. Defense, number 12. 10-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Devonshire, the guilty player.
Thrash and Devonshire continue to work one-on-one, and there he had a hand. And I think that is the squeaky wheel there in that break. After that last series offensively, there were a couple possible pass interference calls that could have gone but didn't go. No flag was thrown, and Braum, patiently waited for that break, but then went right after the officials. And there's, a little bit of a hand there grab, and Devonshire draws the flag. Let's pick up here on first down, make it 2nd and 5.
Thrash is the leading receiver with 9 catches, twisting. And the attempted grab by Thrash with Devonshire back there. Devonshire, a busy man in that Pitt secondary. And he'll have a quick conversation with the Louisville sideline.
This is fun when you've got two greats just scrapping back and forth. Got to find a way. Too big of a playmaker right there. Thrash has had a couple balls go through his hands. He's got to hang on to him, help his team out, help his quarterback out. Here's a 3rd down and 6 now. Let's see if Randy Bates, he'll bring 4.
5 of 10 on 3rd down. That pass too tall. Looking for Thrash. Devonshire was all over him. Now it's 4th down, James.
Already missing that field goal, and here, a chance to go for it earlier instead of that field goal try. Had a lot of trust in Travelstead. And feeling like Pitt, they've driven the football a couple times in this football game. It's not like your defense been shutting them out. They're going to go for it here on 4th down and 6. Got to make it to the 40.
They've missed the only other try. 4th down of the game for Louisville. Plummer bounces in the air. Incomplete. Looking for Coleman. Philip O'Brien Jr. defensively.
So here you go, and just a great job, great break on the ball to get that hand over, not draw a flag by Philip O'Brien. And that is the 2nd 4th down stop by Randy Bates' defense here tonight. Those are every bit as big as those turnovers via the fumble or the interception. Huge play on 4th down once again. This time it's O'Brien.
Hammond.
Ball come out there.
Pitt still has it. Hammond was the ball carrier.
And that ball was definitely out.
Looked like Brownlee.
Yeah, Jarvis
knocked
Brownlee,
it free.
the Carroll City Chief. Now, Miami, where he went to high school. Put his hat right on it, but it fell right back into the hands of Hammond.
Same spot, Flemister. It's up to the 49. Despite the adverse conditions, James, Pitt has not turned it over yet. 3 turnovers for Louisville.
He's taking care of that football. That right there is something, perhaps Narduzzi and Pitt fans hoping that the tide turning their way a little bit, ball starting to fall their way. I mentioned earlier, they had their opportunities throughout the season to add to the turnovers, but just 4 coming in, and here they get a few to bounce their way, bounce into their hands, the interceptions, and one that bounced right back into Hammond's arms right there would have made it really interesting.
Veilleux behind the receiver, incomplete on 3rd down. Looking for Mumpfield. And now 4th down. Also stops the clock, James, with 4:39 to go, and every second is precious for Louisville, trailing by 10. Narduzzi's team putting up 31 points tonight, above its season average of just over 23 points per game, 13th in the conference, and that figure aided by the Devonshire interception return.
Remember, last time they punted it away, Coleman had a tough time. Lucky he was able to knock that ball out of bounds.
Wants a fair catch, makes it at about the 13.
Well, that one was clean, but there have been plenty of dirty balls, and 4 times, 5 times even with that punt, ball's been on the ground, and this one they finally get one. Samuel Okunlola with the fumble, and the fumble return. Devonshire there was taking it to the house after the interception. Woods an interception as well, and Travelstead, who had 4 field goals against the Fighting Irish in the win last week, off the mark right there. Otherwise, we'd be looking at a 7-point ball game. Instead, it's 10. Whole football field to go with 4:31 remaining, but 3 timeouts.
Panthers have cashed in a couple of those turnovers for points. This is Guerrendo fighting his way up the sideline. First down and more, just shy of the 30. He's played a rugged football game for the Cards tonight and got 16 yards on the play.
And you see, watching Guerrendo here, why it's a nice 1-2 punch with 25 right there when he's healthy. Jawhar Jordan unable to go after the second carry here tonight.
Leading rusher in the ACC is pacing the sidelines over in that Cardinals bench area. Incomplete, looking for Bell. Bell has a touchdown catch tonight.
There's Jawhar Jordan's numbers, and the guy averaging 7.5 yards a carry coming into tonight, had the 2 big touchdowns against Notre Dame. Unable to help out for the most part.
That ball hits the turf and incomplete.
MJ Devonshire. I mean, you'd think that they're picking on him almost, but he's just in the mix here throughout the night because he's drawn the assignment of Jamari Thrash one, and here he's in the middle knocking another ball away, forcing a 3rd down and 10. Clock stops at 3:57. And they really haven't had to draw up a bunch of exotic blitzes and bring extra bodies. They've been able to drop them back in coverage to help out.
3rd down. Plummer's pass beyond the 35-yard line, still short of the marker, which was right at the 39. And so Bell, who had that touchdown catch on the opening drive for Louisville in the game. Here we go with 4th down. Gotta go, James.
0 for 2 on 4th down. Here comes try number 3.
Receiver appeared to stumble. Thrash couldn't get to it. Incomplete. Devonshire back there.
Yeah, this was going to be there. This was going to be a 1st down and then some. He was able, on that little back shoulder throw, he just couldn't get his feet underneath him, and he got to make that cut a little bit differently with this wet grass. And on a dry field, he can come out of that scot-free, go catch that football and do some damage, but instead it's another turnover on downs, another 4th down stop for Randy Bates in this Pitt defense. Really stepped up and played well against a potent offense here tonight.
Thrash is a guy with 9 catches and 120 yards in the game, but he couldn't get to that one on 4th down. Panthers, what a second half. Louisville unable to score so far. Flemister on the carry. Travelstead missed a 47-yarder earlier in this quarter. And as James mentioned, that was a guy who made 4 field goals against Notre Dame. In fact, the 2nd time this season he had done that for a school record. Only player ever. Timeout on the field. What is it about Coach Brahman that week after, James, those top 10 wins? He's just had difficulties.
really have. We showed you off the top, and he mentioned it in his press conference. He wanted everybody to know, in that building especially, his team especially, hey, it's not easy. It's never easy. I don't care who you're playing. It's hard to win a college football game, and admittedly, hey, we could easily be 3-3 coming in here, but they were 6-0. And what Tom's talking about is you didn't catch it at Purdue. He had 3 wins against top 5 teams, and the next week, each time they lost the next week. After all 3 big victories, they wanted to make sure it didn't happen tonight. Time's a wasting right now.
Panthers keep it on the ground with Flemister. So timeout taken. Notre Dame 33-20. And then you run into homecoming here in Pittsburgh. The Panthers defense has done the job in the second half. Veilleux, first career start, trying to lead him to victory. A lot of things colliding this evening here at Acrisure Stadium. And right now, Louisville's in a pickle. Because the Panthers have the football. 1 timeout remaining for Louisville. It's Flemister again. Louisville's only been shut out in the second half once this season. That was the game against Indiana. It was a win. 21-14 against the Hoosiers. That was in Indianapolis. And a timeout taken, and the third for Louisville. Out of timeouts with 3:10 to go and down by 10. It is 4th down for Pitt. Veilleux. All in all, James, considering the situation, respectable, and the long TD pass as well of 46 yards.
Oh, I would take it a step beyond respectable, even though that 11 of 25, it doesn't look super sexy there on the numbers. I mean, to just go in there, a team that's 1-4, just fighting, trying to do anything they can to get a win. Look there at Phil Jerkovic, who started this season, the transfer from Boston College. And during that bye week, Frank Cignetti, the offensive coordinator, who he and Jerkovic go way back to the Boston College days, he and Pat Narduzzi decided we've got to make a change now. And it's certainly looking pretty good right now. No timeouts left for the Cards. And 3:10 remaining.
It's funny, the Panthers have had success in this series. They've won 6 of the last 8 meetings.
They choose to go for it here.
Yeah. They're going to throw it inside the 10 and caught for the touchdown. Veilleux to Mumpfield on 4th down for Pitt.
Tom, I thought maybe for a second Veilleux may get back there and just pooch punt it. We saw Duke's Riley Leonard do it against Notre Dame in that situation. He put it up top. Frank Cignetti, offensive coordinator, dialing it up for the young Canadian.
Second TD pass of the night for Veilleux. How about the Panthers?
Nice protection for Veilleux. Nobody there for him, and a beautifully thrown football. Just drops it in there. There you see a little stutter step and getting outside in a hurry and getting down there, the leading receiver. Narduzzi feeling that first ACC win and a big-time upset against number 14 about to go down. Ice in the veins. They know a little bit about the ice being from Ottawa.
Third TD grab of the season for Mumpfield. 31 yards on the play. Had a step on the defender. That pass was just about perfect from Veilleux. 2 TD passes tonight for Veilleux, 3 on the season. 46 yards and 31 yards just a moment ago to Mumpfield.
Those that came out on this nasty weather night are having a good time. Little Sweet Caroline in between the third and fourth quarters. And let's go Pitt. It's homecoming. And it had to be pretty tough to come out here. But just like Narduzzi said pre-game, this is Panther weather. Gave him a treat.
24 points in the second half for Pitt. 0 for Louisville, which scored late in the second quarter to take the halftime lead, 21-14. Not coming out of the end zone.
Well, this may be Pittsburgh, and we're way over here in the West, but some brotherly love right there. Hey, can I get away with that? Are those fighting words? I don't know. How does it work up here in Pennsylvania?
I think as far as Panther fans are concerned tonight, James, it is all good considering this result with 3:03 to go. Yeah, the temps might be in the high 40s with some drizzle. It's not a problem.
It's been nipply all day.
For the homecoming crowd. Plummer at the 40 over the middle and complete. Thompson spun down. Cards were trying to go to 7-0 for the first time since 2012, and they started 9-0. And it is a steep uphill climb at the moment. No timeouts. Callaway the catch. And trailing 38-21 to Pitt with a monster second half on both sides of the football, James, including the Devonshire 86-yard interception return of Plummer in the third quarter. Seems like every year Coach Narduzzi's team has a win against a top 20 opponent. Remember 2 years ago they were the champs of the ACC, defeating Wake Forest in Charlotte. To the 30-yard line for Coleman.
Coleman again. We've had a couple times where Louisville ball carriers are just getting tripped up, just one step away from breaking one. There's Solomon DeShields, the linebacker, who's down. And Narduzzi out there in a hurry to check on him. DeShields been very active tonight. The junior from Millville, New Jersey.
So 21-14 at halftime with the late Louisville TD. And then the third quarter belonging to Pitt, highlighted by the 86-yard return by Devonshire. And then the TD pass moments ago, Veilleux to Mumpfield. Second TD pass for Veilleux. Threw a 46-yarder in the first quarter.
The Shields, by the way, 7 tackles as he's helped off. You think Narduzzi will celebrate in Serafino? Serafino's open late.
They are now.
Joe will keep it open for him, won't he?
Provided the score stays like it is, although Louisville's trying to make something happen. Plummer just had to get rid of it to his own sideline.
And that one should be a grounder. Certainly didn't look like he went outside the tackle box. I agree with you there.
Brandon George was bringing the pressure. They play.
Final foul, loss of down, second down.
Bates, they didn't throw that flag. They placed it.
Yeah, they wanted to talk it over. He's got to get outside the tackle box. He's not. That's a good call. And I know that there was a receiver in the vicinity. Anyway, he did make it up past the line of scrimmage.
Complete. Bell. So Coach Narduzzi, who's got the second most wins in school history here at Pitt, trying to add to that total. It would be win number 64 for the ninth-year head coach. You want to stay tuned. Trevor tracks down Coach Narduzzi for a post-game interview. 1:13 to go right now. Again, 38-21.
You know, tackling was a huge problem, or lack thereof, for this Pitt football team in the loss a couple weeks ago. Remember, they had the bye week to Virginia Tech, 38-21. They've done a great job of tackling it and keeping a lot of these weapons from Louisville in front of them.
This is 4th and 2 now. Plummer launches to the end zone in traffic, and that is incomplete. Coleman was the intended receiver in the end zone. O'Brien was back there. And that should put the finishing touches on this one with 1:06 to go in the fourth. College football is amazing, James. If you're Louisville, last week you beat number 10 Notre Dame. By the way, they stopped a 30-game regular season winning streak for the Irish against ACC opponents. You come to Pittsburgh as the favorite against the Panthers, against a quarterback making his first career start in adverse weather. You have the lead at halftime, and the second half is a different story authored by the Pitt Panthers on homecoming.
Well, and again, you made Sam Hartman feel uncomfortable. I mean, he never felt comfortable all night long. And here you've got the sophomore making his first start. And Veilleux, you're unable to rattle him.
It is a disappointing evening for the Louisville Cardinals, understandably so. Rolling in number 14 in the nation. 6-game winning streak to start the season. Panthers had lost 4 in a row. Tough night for Jack Plummer. A couple of interceptions. And that is the final snap. And the last 25 seconds will tick off the clock. The win for Pat Narduzzi against number 14 Louisville, 38-21 in upset fashion against previously undefeated Louisville. Christian Veilleux. He'll remember that first career start, won't he, James?
He certainly will. That was a lot of fun to sit and talk with him yesterday on the eve of his first start. He had worked so hard to just make it happen. And while we've got a second, Victor Todondo, his coach who helped him and so many other Canadians. Let's get it down to Trevor, who's with Coach.
Coach,